أرجع دعوة.
How to deal with patient. How to deal with patient.
تدخلها هاي بيصورونك بعد.
هذا بالقرآن ولا مباشرة؟
I'm Kubra, acting in charge of the child unit. Today I will talk about the introduction for the social skill. We are practicing the social skill for the beginning of the opening of the unit, and it was conducted by the staffs. It was weekly and twice a week. We will present topics so the other staff, and it will be recorded by the video, so other staff who's coming after, they will have something there to see. Better than conducting every time. And this will be for a period of 5 weeks, starting from today. It will be from 1:30 to 1:15, but we didn't start 1:30. It will for 20 minutes. I will start with the introduction. Then I will just tell you about the topics that will be given by the staffs of our unit. I will just list the topics. It will be modeling, role-playing, performing feedback, transfer of the training, teacher skill checklist, selection of a group leader and involvement of parents and physical setting, group facilitation, rules and general group teaching strategies and frequency, length of session and reinforcements resistance. Then preparation sessions, and this will be of course conducted by the staffs. The group target that you are giving for them, the social skill session, of course the child will come with the problem. Not all the children will enter this social skill. The doctor will bring this child who is having this problem, and we will let him be in the social skill sessions. We are having, I'll just give you 3 types, like immature children. For example, we have a child who was in the school, can't defend himself. They are beating him, but he's not defending, not even shouting, telling no, stop it. He was just not saying anything. So he came here, we not teach him how to beat other children, no. Just to, ask for help, to shout at least, to say stupid, okay? We are having aggressive children. We are teaching him how to control himself, and we had this kind of children who can't control himself, or if any child tell him anything, he will just go and beat him or shout at him. So here we are teach him how to control himself. Then we are having withdrawal child. These children who will be away, they don't have any co-peers, they will be alone. So here we are teaching him how to be sociable in the school. This target group is mostly seen in the school, and of course the teacher, they are facing a big problem of how to deal with them. They are only concentrating or focusing on how to deal with them, with this problem, like in cafeteria or in the classroom, the child who's not sitting, who's shouting, or who's not controlling himself. So they don't know how to teach them. They are not teaching them the correct way how to control themselves or how to defend themselves. No, only they are concentrating of how to deal with this. So So they need to be educated regarding this matter. يعني. There is some question here. نفسي راح.
Okay.
Tension. Okay. Here is the question: why don't all children learn acceptable social behavior? Here is first thing is the child may not know what the appropriate behavior is. The child have a poor knowledge of desirable behavior due to he may not attend to the correct use of model, or this appropriate model may not have been available in the child environment. Okay, or the child is doing this appropriate behavior, but he don't know when or where to use it. For example, like if the child here, he came to me, he know how to request for a thing, like excuse me, I want to ask for this thing, or to use the phone, or can I go to the outside, or to go to the garden. But he don't know when or where to ask for it. Like if it will be appropriate if the child, like I am sitting, I don't do anything. It will be appropriate if he come to ask for this thing from me. But it will be inappropriate if I was like talking on the phone, I was having a group discussion with the staff. It will be inappropriate. And second thing is the child may have the knowledge but lack the practice. The child might lack sufficient opportunity or motivation to practice the prosocial behavior. For example, if he know to say that if anybody do something for him, like say thank you, and here will teach him, okay? At home, if he say thank you and there is no reward after that, they will say, oh good that you said thank you, the child will not have, and it will not be like a reinforcement for the child to say it again. Then we have a child with emotional response. A child emotional response may inhibit the performance of the desirable behavior, like fear, anxiety or anger may prevent child from thinking and responding effectively. For example, if the child he was withdrawn, he don't know how to, he know how to request for the thing, like to go to the other children to say like I want to play with you, but because he is fearful, fearful that they will not accept him in the playing, so he will not go and request for this thing. Then we have the question of who should receive instruction in prosocial skill. We have handicapped and non-handicapped student. Handicapped, it will be mentally, learning disabled, behavior disorder, and this kind of children we are having them here. We are teaching them the social skill. And then who should teach social skill? This will be according to the situation. For us here, we are the nurses, they are having the big role of giving social skill, and we are the one who are only giving the social skill, I think. Then it will be the teachers, the social worker, the psychologist, and they should give. Then the school counselor, according to the situation in the school.
I think most important things, parents, they should have social skills.
Yeah, they should. So this is everything I have to tell about the introduction. If you have any question.
Yes. The time open for question now. Listen.
What is your involvement with the school social worker? How your relation with her? How frequent? Suppose you are having a child from a school, or 2-3 children from a school. Do the social workers come here from different schools?
Well, we do. The social worker from the school, they are not coming here, but they will refer the child to us by the through the OPD. If they saw that this child he needs social skill, he's having poor in social skill, he will be referred to here and he will attend to us. But contact with them.
Your feedback to them, what is your feedback?
We are going to
Of
school
course,
also.
sometimes they stop, they are going to the school, and sometimes they will call to see this one. If the child having problem or there is prognosis in the child case, they will have contact with us also.
What do you mean by let the other teachers conduct the social skill training? How?
The teacher, as I said before, also that they should learn how to teach the children the social skill. So they, in the school also they know how to deal with them, and to prevent this thing, they will teach the children the correct social skill. And they should learn this.
Okay, can I have a comment, please? Regarding the same point, whether who's conducting the social skill, it will be according to the situation. As Sister Cobra mentioned, if it's social skill not confined to the hospital, it can be done at school, it can be at at home, it can be done in a specific association or assembly. So according to the situation, currently what we have here, it is in hospital setting. That's why the nurses is doing the job right now. But we hope in the future that it will be applied more widely, and at the level of a school, at the level of even outpatients. And by the way, we started, as our colleague mentioned, regarding cooperation with the schools. We started, bringing some students, allocated by their teachers that they have deficit in social skill. This is their impression. They brought these children, seen by us and by the nurse here, just for primary assessment, and they are also started already continuing, providing social skill session, as Sister Cobra mentioned, for handicapped children, mentally handicapped, which is inpatients, and for non-handicapped, which is normal student from the school, but at the same time they have deficit or they have problem in learning or knowing these social skills. We start already, and after that we hope for more cooperations with the educational system for better future application of this social skill on wide range rather than on a hospital setting. This, by the way, just to know.
You have to be clear that you are taking mental handicap. You mean only the mildly retarded?
Yeah, mildly only, not severe or moderate, of course.
Not moderate, not severe.
Yeah.
Regarding this one, this will come in the topic selection of the group. This will, the responsible staff nurse will talk about the selection of the group, what's the indication, and etc. Today is just introduction of the whole series, what we have in the next 5 weeks. We are going to talk little by little and in detail for each step and for each, way in the state. Any question? Okay, at the end we thank Sister Copra for her interesting introduction, and we thank all audience for their participation, and we hope just to continue in such attendance in the future. Thanks a lot.
Inshallah, thank you.
Delayed or
فيصل تروح ثاني عمرك 7 سنين تمام
بشكل صغير على 7 سنين
طريقة شنو؟ انت
يلا خلها
واضح؟ في جسمهم؟ في الجلد؟
فاضل الجمعة تعمل فاضل وليش عمرك
تقريبا
في صفحة تروح الرابع الساعة 10 وانت محمد
لا تكوي.
وانت؟ تبصق الأول؟
رحت 7 years old.
تروح ثاني؟ لا تروح ثاني؟ ايش اسمك كتاب؟ محمد شاطر. وانت؟ محمد عامر. هاي القوانين هذه تعرفونها؟ أقول لكم عنها؟ تعرفونها كلها؟ أكيد؟ تعرفونها؟ قوانين مالت الاجتماع مالنا؟ الاجتماع هاي الدرس اللي ناخذه دائما. تعرفون هي القوانين مالتها؟ اللي عارف أول خطوة شو يقولها؟ أول خطوة شنو؟ قول تفضل. استمع. اي تستمع حق شنو؟ أول خطوة شنو؟ محمد. في الكلام أول شيء. فيصل.
أول خطوة شنو؟
أول خطوة شنو؟ حسين.
نستمع للأستاذ.
اي. طيب يصير لي ضد الصف يعني الحين انتوا قاعدين تتكلم يعني تتكلم حق الاستاذ محمد شو تسوي لازم؟ اي قبل لا تستأذن شنو لازم تنتظر شنو؟ تنتظر دورك، اول شيء انتظر دورك وبعدين متى تتكلم؟ لين طلب منك الاستاذ انك تتكلم، اول شيء تنتظر دورك ثاني شيء تتكلم لما يطلب منك. زين اذا كان خليفه اذا انت الحين محمد قاعد يتكلم مع الاستاذ تصير تتكلم وياه متى تتكلم مع الاستاذ؟ لين خلص. اي شو يصير لازم انت شو تسوي لازم لما هو يتكلم مع الاستاذ؟ تسكت وبعد شنو شو تسوي؟ تنتظر دورك تنتبه حتى انزين اذا الحين محمد اذا فاضل قاعد يتكلم الحين مع الاستاذ وانت تبقي منه شيء يصير تقول له ذاك ما يصير. فانت لازم شلون تجلس يمه؟ بعد ولازم شو تسوي؟ ولازم ما شو تسوي بعد؟
بهدوء.
تجلس بهدوء وما تطلع لسانك صح؟ انزين الحين احنا في الاجتماع هذه في اشياء ممنوع ان الواحد يجيبها وياه. ماذا؟
الألعاب.
نعم.
أو شيء هو يستمع يلعب به.
بعد غير الالعاب
شنو الأشياء اللي ما يصير يجيبونها بعد؟
هاي الالعاب غير الالعاب بعد شنو لازم ما نقدر نجيب ويانا؟
محمد.
حمام. شنو ما شو تجيبون؟ حيوانات. زين بعد؟
محمد.
الأغراض والكتب كذا.
انزين الحين اذا واحد فيكم مثلا في وقت الدرس تضايق وايد ولا يعني انفعل ولا صار يعني زعلان ولا حمقان وما يقدر يقعد لازم شو يسوي؟ محمد؟
يستنى واحد يروح 3 دقايق.
ايوه 5 دقائق وبعدين يرجع. هذه هي القوانين. من يعرف يقرا فيكم؟ من يعرف يقرا؟
محمد علي.
محمد علي. كم تقرا هذه؟ تقراهم؟
شوفهم. فاضل.
انزين انا بقراهم اليوم لكم. زين؟ اول نقطة انتظر دورك. ثاني نقطة تكلم عندما يطلب منك. ثالث نقطة الانتباه عندما يتحدث زميلك. الرابع نقطة الجلوس المناسب وعدم إزعاج من يجلس بجانبك. 5 عدم إحضار اللعب والكتب والأكل أثناء الاجتماع. 6 عند الانفعال يحق لك الخروج لمدة 5 دقائق والذهاب إلى غرفتك بعد أن تستأذن من المجموعة. فبكم هاي تحفظونها. أنا كل مرة بجي في الدرس قبل بداية الدرس بسألكم عنها. زين؟ هاي الخطوات ال6 حطوها في بالكم. زين، درسنا اليوم عن طلب المساعدة. يعني مثلا إذا واحد فيكم محتاج شيء شلون يطلب؟ شنو الطريقة الصحيحة إنه هو يطلب؟ هاي اليوم موضوعنا. والموضوع بنركز إحنا على يعني الواحد يطلب في الصف. يعني واحد قاعد في صف مدرسة واحتاج إنه هو مساعدة، مثلا يا إما من اللي قاعد يمه، يا إما من صديقه، يا إما من المدرس. زين؟ فشنو الطريقة اللي هو لازم يطلب فيها؟ فالحين نبي انتوا وياي تفكرون معاي، تنتبهون معاي عشان توصلون، عشان نوصل مع بعض للخطوات. يعني شنو هي الخطوة الأولى، الخطوة الثانية، الخطوة الثالثة، الخطوة الرابعة لنوصل لها. زين؟ زين. الحين إذا أنت يعني عندك في الدرس قريت سؤال، قبل لا تسأل يعني تحاول يعني تسأل تعرف إذا أحد يساعدك ولا لا. شنو السؤال اللي تسأله نفسك أنت أو قبل لا تسأل؟ يعني قبل لا تسأل أنت تسأل روحك قبل لا تسأل بالنسبة حق الشيء اللي أنت تطلب عنه. محمد؟ تفكر في شنو؟
صحيح.
صحيح ولا أنت تعرفه ولا ما تعرفه؟
أول شيء أفكر.
أول فكر أنت بتشوف إذا كان أنت تعرفه ولا لا. عدل؟ عارفين شنو الحين شنو اللي قاله محمد؟ محمد قال قبل لا أسأل أنا أفكر بيني وبين نفسي، أشوف إن أنا هل هذا السؤال أنا عارفه ولا لا قبل ما أسأل. فأول خطوة إن يعني أنا أسأل روحي أنا أحتاج حق مساعدة ولا ما أحتاج؟ يمكن ما أحتاج، ليش أسأل؟ في ناس بس يسألون بس لأن يحبون يسألون يضيعون الوقت في الصف. فإذا واحد يعرف هو الجواب يسأل ولا ما يسأل؟ إذا واحد يعرف الجواب يسأل؟ إذا يعرف الجواب يسأل ولا إذا ما يعرف الجواب يسأل؟
إذا ما يعرف الجواب.
ولا يعرف الجواب؟ ما يسأل. زين. زين، الحين أنت راجعت نفسك وشفت نفسك إن أنت ما تعرف الجواب. زين؟ والحين تقررت بينك وبين نفسك إنك بتسأل. شو تسوي؟ الحين المدرسة أو المدرس واقف قدامك. زين؟ وأنت تبي تسأل السؤال. شنو تسوي؟ شلون تستأذن إذا أنت في الصف؟
أقول لو سمحت.
قبل لا تقول شو تسوي؟ ارفع صوتك. زين، انت الحين رفعت صبعك والمدرس كان مشغول قاعد يكتب على السبوره وطالع في الاوراق. تتحجى تقول السؤال؟ لا ما تقول السؤال. زين. متى تقول السؤال؟ محمد. لين خلص الاستاذ. وبعد لين خلص وبعد. يعني الاستاذ خلص، متى وترفع صبعك، متى تتكلم؟
أتكلم من خلص صديقي.
خلص صديقك وخلص الأستاذ الحين جاهز، يبي يسمع السؤال. شنو تنتظر قبل لا تتكلم؟
انتظر زميلي.
خلص زميلك. محمد.
لما يستأذن مني أتكلم.
لما الأستاذ يقول الحين تفضل أنت. عدل؟ فالنقطة الثالثة شنو هي؟ انتظر حتى يسمح لك بالكلام. ولما أحسن شيء يعني إذا أنت قاعد رافع صبعك وتنتظر والأستاذ مشغول، أنت شو تقول حق نفسك؟ لازم تقول حق نفسك أنا بنتظر، أنا أستطيع أنتظر. لأن في بعض يعني تلاميذ في الصف يسوون استنى ويسوون ازعاج. لا بس انت تقول حق روحك انا اقدر انتظر لحد ما الاستاذ يقول لك زين. الحين النقطة الأخيرة، الحين انت فكرت فيها وعرفت انك تحتاج حق مساعدة ورفعت صبعك والاستاذ كان مشغول والحين مو مشغول وأذن لك قال لك زين الحين تقدر تسأل. ايش تبي انت؟ شلون تسأل؟ محمد شلون تسأل؟ لازم شلون الطريقة اللي تسأل فيها؟ لازم ما تصارخ. شاطر. لازم تقولها بطريقة شلون؟ بالعدل. محمد؟
مؤدبة.
طريقة مؤدبة؟
صحيحة.
طريقة صحيحة؟
ترفع ايدك.
لا ترفع ايدك وقال لك اوكي الحين تكلم. شلون تقول حق الاستاذ؟ يعني يصير الصارخ علي صوتك؟
ما اصرخ على الاستاذ بالله. انت تقولي اتكلم بطريقه مؤدبه.
تتكلم بطريقه مؤدبه. وبعد؟
تقول له شغله.
اي وبعد؟ زين. سند. إذا الأستاذ قال لك الحين اسأل، شلون لازم تسأل؟ حسنة؟ نعم؟ شلون لازم تسأل؟ يصير صارخ عليه؟ شو تقول له لازم؟ تقول له شلون بالعدل؟ طريقة لطيفة ومؤدبة؟ طريقة مؤدبة. محمد الحين الأستاذ قال لك زين اسأل، شلون لازم تسأل؟ ما تقول كلام مو زين. وبعد يعني لازم يكون يعني كلام يكون مؤدب تقصد عدل؟ شاطر. فرابع نقطة هي اطلب المساعدة بطريقة لطيفة ومؤدبة. زين هذه الخطوات الحين. الحين توصلنا حق الخطوات. الحين أنا ورفيجي بنسوي لكم تمثيل إن إحنا في الصف. تفضل. اي لا طبعا هي ما تسويها حق الاستاذ. زين. فالحين انا وصديقي بنسوي نفس التمثيليه الصغيره. زين. ابيكم انتم تنتبهون وتطلعون هاي الاربع خطوات. محمد فاربع الخطوات اللي قلناها احنا الحين بنسويها. ابيكم في نهايه التمثيليه تقولوا لنا احنا سويناها بطريقه صحيحه ولا غلط. زين. واذا كان غلط قولوا لنا الغلط. انتبهوا لنا. زين. الموقف الحين انا طالب زين في الصف وهاي طالب معاي في الصف والحين صار في وقت الفسحه وهو قاعد يحب يكتب وهو قاعد في الصف وانا جاي من برا الصف وانا محتاج حق قلم. عشان انا اكتب بعد مثله. زين؟ فانا بس بطلب منه القلم. زين؟ انتوا طالعوا وشوفوا الخطوات انا ماشي عليها ولا لا؟ يا كم قلم؟
قلمي لو سمحت.
ممكن نستعمل قلم محمد؟
لا والله مو ممكن، انا محتاج الى القلم. المفروض تقول لي يعني.
زين خلاص الحين طريقة صحيحة؟
لا.
شو تقول انت؟ انت طريقة صح هذا ولا طريقة غلط سويته؟ الحين لما اخذت القلم حسنا؟ شلون؟ لا انا الحين من دشيت واخذت القلم صح اللي سويته ولا غلط؟ غلط. محمد الطريقة اللي سويتها انا صحيحة ولا غلط؟ انا اللي سويت الطريقة اللي سويتها غلط. شاطر. زين الحين هذه الخطوات 1 2 3 4 زين؟ اي خطوة فيهم انا ما سويتها؟
5.
ما في 5. 1 2 3 4 3 اللي هي انتظر حتى يسمح لك. انا ما انتظر عدل يصير وقت القلم. زين وبعد اي خطوة انا ما سويتها صح؟ قال 3 غير 3 شلون رقم 4؟
هذا رقم ما
هذا 4 يعني طلبت الطريقة لطيفة؟
لا.
شو تقول محمد؟ شلون طلبت انا؟ طلبت طريقة غلط؟ فلازم شو اسوي؟ شلون كان لازم اسوي؟ لازم ما اخذ بدون استعداد. ولما اتكلم شلون؟ بالعداد. بعد شنو في غلط؟ في بعد شيء غلط سويته؟ في الأخير أنا شنو سويت؟ أخذت القلم يعني رجعته وأنا زعلان لا؟ هي صح لو غلط؟ محمد؟ غلط. زين. زين الحين أنا بسويها بطريقة ثانية. زين؟ شوفوها إذا كانت صح ولا غلط. سنة انتبه ها؟ شوف شلون أنا بسويها الحين. محمد مشغول أنا محتاج حق القلم. خليه يخلص. محمد؟
نعم تفضل.
ممكن نستعمل القلم شوي؟
اي تفضل تفضل بس بسرعة شوي.
شكرا العفو جزيلا. ايش رايكم الحين؟ قبل ما تحكوا خالد طريقة صح. سند محمد صح كل الخطوات صح؟ خطوات لازم تعرفون الخطوات كلها صح؟ كلها صح. انت
مو كذا صح؟ شنو اللي ما سواه؟
شنو صح؟ مو كلها صح. شنو مو كلها صح؟ كنت تقولوا كلها صح ولا مو كلها صح؟ كلها صح. محمد كلها صح. صح هاي الطريقة الصحيحة. اوكي الحين احنا بنعطي كل وقت 2 منكم بعد يسوون لنا موقف يسوونه بس بطريقة صح. زين؟ بس كل واحد بنقول له الحين موقف معين يسويه نبي اياه بطريقة صح.
لو سمحت تفضل سوي الحل.
زين الحين نبي منكم تقولون الحين طريقة على حسب الخطوات اللي عندنا على السبورة. محمد سواها طريقة صح ولا غلط؟
صح.
صح. انت ايش تقول سنة؟ غلط. شنو غلط فيه؟
هو لازم يحل الواجب.
لا هو ما يعرف الواجب عشان شي سأله يساعده.
غلط، لازم تقول لي اقرا لي مو احل لي.
لا ولا انها مسألة رياضة، مسألة حساب عشان كذي لازم يحل لي. بس غير عن هذه يعني على الخطوات. اوكي؟ خطوات عدلة؟ زين. حنا قلت الخطوات عدلة نسووها. يعني مثلا شاف انه محتاج قام استأذن منه بعدين انتظر حتى يعني قال له اوكي بعدين قال له مشكور. صح؟ خطوات؟ كلها صح؟ اوكي. شكرا. الحين نبي اثنين.
وين الكورة؟ أمي حطتها فوق الكبت. فوق الكبت أمي حطتها. روح شوفها فوق الكبت. فوق انت. تعالي خليها أمك تهوي.
خلصت؟ زين. ايش رايكم؟ سمعت انه مو عاجبك، لا؟ انه مو عاجبك. ساكت كذا. شو تقول؟ الطريقة مالتكم. شو الخطوات؟ كلها؟ لا شنو اللي ما شو عليه؟ ما استأذن صح؟ يعني لا استأذن ابوه بس توّداش راح ولا قال له يعني ولا شافه اذا كان مشغول مو مشغول فاضي يعني بس اذا راح قال له وين الكرة؟ زين بعد شنو في شيء غلط؟ محمد
يعني كتب عليه قال الكرة فوق الكبت هي مو فوق الكبت.
وهي مو فوق الكبت؟
هي بالحمام.
لا بس ايش رايك بالطريقة اللي سأل فيها؟ ايش رايكم بالطريقة اللي سأل فيها؟ خالد الطريقة اللي سأل فيها شلون؟ الطريقة اللي سأل فيها لطيفة ولا مو لطيفة؟ لطيفة. بس تقول الطريقة اللي سأل فيها عن الكرة شلون؟
يعني زين لازم شوي يستأذن.
بس كان يستأذن بعد ذلك كان ممكن يقولها طريقة أحسن. كان يقولها وين الكرة؟
وين الكرة؟
مثلا عدل يعني يقولها لازم يقولها طريقة شوي تكون ألطف. مو بس وين الكرة؟ يعني سيريس وين الكرة؟ يعني يقول له إياها بطريقة أحسن عدل؟
طيب. ولما قال لك وين الكرة قال لك شكرا؟ ما قال لك شكرا.
بعد لما قلت فوق الكبت ما قال لك مثلا مشكور ولا شيء. شكرا. الحين نبي اثنين غير. من اللي ما شارك؟ كلهم شاركوا؟
خليفة.
العمرين.
خليفة.
من؟
خليفة مع خليفة.
خالد. خليفة خالد. خليفة. 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 و فاضل.
سمعت خليفة؟ أنا مش يلا شوف. ها؟
زين. اوكي قاعد نحكي. زين. شو تقول محمد؟ ما قال له شكرا بالاخير بس شلون لما طلب انه يساعده يعني طريقة عادلة اللي طلب فيها؟ طريقة عادلة، شو تقول محمد؟ شو تقول طريقة عادلة اللي سأل فيها، الخطوات كلها عادلة. زين سنة خليفة سنة خليفة شلون الطريقة اللي طلب فيها السيكل؟ صح ولا غلط؟ طريقة شلون يعني لما راح له وسأله صح. محمد طريقة شلون اللي سأله عشان ياخذ السيكل صحيح ولا غلط؟
ما قال له شكرا.
ما قال له شكرا بس ما قال له.
لو سمحت ما قال له شكرا.
طيب بس انه هو نقص ما قال له شكرا بس يعني الطريقة اللي طلب فيها زين. الطريقة اللي قال له لو سمحت السيكل شيء صحيحة. شكرا. زين احنا الحين بنلتقي ان شاء الله بعد الاسبوع الجاي. في عندنا موضوع ثاني ونقدمه لكم الاسبوع الجاي. الاسبوع الجاي الدرس مالنا بيكون عن شلون تقول شكرا. زين؟ ومتى تقول شكرا وكيف تقول شكرا. زين مشكورين. مع السلامة. وقتها جروب كلهم ديلي بالمدرسة لا انا الجروب اللي سويته قبل وايد زين يعرفون يقرون.
هذا مو مع
الأطفال كلها كانوا 10 و12.
ده كان متر يكون عايز
صغيري
ولا هو اللي بيهتش الترابيزه
ولا حتى ابوي
سايكوباتيه
يعني جاب
ما له علاقه
الله يهديك يا علاء. أرجعت دعوة.
How to deal with patients. How to deal with patients.
تدخلها هاي بيصورونك بعد.
هذا بالقرآن ولا مباشرة يعني؟
Good morning, good afternoon everyone. Today I'm going to start with the first component of structured learning. Before I start with the modeling, I would like to talk about a little bit about the structural modeling. Structural modeling, structured learning, it's a psychoeducational and behavioral approaches. This structured learning used to teach the skill deficient child prosocial alternative behavior and to facilitate the actual use of this alternative. Structured learning consists of 4 components. The first component that I'm going to talk about today is modeling. Then Afa will talk about the role modeling, role playing. Then the third one is the performance feedback, and the fourth one is the transfer of training. Before I start about that modeling, what do you know about modeling? Anything about modeling? What do you understand modeling? Leading by example. Imitation. That one, that author described that modeling is imitation, and it is used for children, mostly for children and adolescents, for learning behaviors, teaching them behaviors. We have 3 types of modeling, of learning modeling. We have observational learning, inhibitory and disinhibitory impacts, and behavioral facilitation. About the observation, I'll go one by one. Observational learning. Observational learning, it is the new behavior that the child doesn't have in his life. That is, يعني ما كان يعرف السلوك الجديد، ما كان في حياته من قبل. It wasn't in his life before, but it's the new behavior he's going to learn. It is, for example, like we have an example when the child at home, he doesn't know any language. He knows the mother and the father language only. When he goes to school or with the neighbor children, he will learn new language because he learned it by observation. He doesn't have it before, but he learned it because he went with these children at school and learned this behavior or this language. The second type is the inhibitory and disinhibitory effect. This one is strengthening and weakening of behaviors performed only by the child. For example, if we have a child at home and the mother shouts at the child, and the child, in order to respond to the mother by acting aggressively, break a plate at home or a glass, and the behavior went unpunished. His brother or his sister saw this behavior, acting in an aggressive way, left unpunished, so he learned this manner because he left it unpunished. So he'll take this manner. This one is disinhibitory effect. But inhibitory effect will be different, opposite. If the child won't punish for such behavior, his sister or brother saw that punish for such behavior, so this one is inhibitory effect. Same here, what we have in children unit. We are using time out, depriving children from privileges.
Welcome.
It is like what we are using here in the child unit. We are depriving the children from privileges. We are giving time out, and other children, they are seeing because such behavior are punished. So they will learn that it's inhibitory effect it will have on this other children, that is this certain behavior is punished. Behavior facilitation. Behavior facilitation, it is performance of previously learned behavior, and they received by others, positively by others. It is this behavior, it was in the child. For example, the children before coming to the unit, they are eating ice cream outside. So here we are using ice cream as a reward for them. They know the ice cream is a delicious thing to get. Like in the lunch, if they have good table manner, he knows that he will get positive reward for such behavior. So he will act in good table manner, and he will get the ice cream. So he knows this reward before in his life, so are reinforcing behavior on himself by getting the enjoy thing he knows before. And this one, there are difference between the behavior facilitation and the observational learning. Observational learning is the new behavior, but behavior facilitation, this behavior was in the child, and he knows the desire of this behavior, the positive one. Now I will talk about the characteristic of the model, the enhancer. What do you think that person who are acting as a model for the children, what should have, which characteristic? Like he should be friendly and helpful. Consider the observer of high status. If he is the same age, same sex, or social status. Controls the reward desired by the observer, and it's especially important to reward good behavior for the children. And the characteristic of the modeling display. It's clear for you? The model should be clear and detailed manner. should be in order from the least difficult to the most difficult, clear and detailed manner. Should be in order from the least difficult to the most difficult. Enough repetition to facilitate overlearning. Little irrelevant details. Several individuals serving as models. And the characteristic of the observer, instructed to imitate the model, friendly toward or likes the model, similar in background to the model, rewarded for performing the behaviors that have been modeled. Are acting as a model. Because the background of the children should be considered very much. Like if we are, some will eat at the table manner, I can give you mostly because some that are used, they don't have fork and spoon at home. So we don't reinforce the child to have fork and spoon at the table manner, as a table manner. He can eat by his hand, but to respect the other table manner. Like wait for everyone to reach the table to eat, to start all together and eating the food, or don't talk loudly, and to certain things, but to consider his background also. For modeling, many research has been done for modeling for children, and in early studies they use the modeling to enhance the self-disclosure of personal concerns within the interview situations. They use the modeling to increase the interviewee's liking for interviewers, to decrease the anxiety about public speaking. That I need. To reduce school children, to reduce the school children's fears about examinations. And they use for the children because it led them to know about sharing, creativity, about self-control, certain cognitive skills, imitation itself, social affiliations. And do you think that modeling is enough? I mean, it's enough by itself. Now, modeling, it has so many things good about it that the children will know. But it is enough by itself. Doesn't need role-playing. Role-playing, we have performance feedback, transfer of training. Do you think modeling is enough by itself? No, it's not. Because modeling tells the child what to do, give a view of that behavior. Role-playing tells the child how to do it. Then by reward, it tells the child, and reward motivates the child, lets him to know why he should behave in such a way. Now for how to do it, Afa will explain.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sister. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so my topic today is about role play. Do anybody define for me role play?
Playing is practicing, acting, practicing in small detail for the child.
Yeah, practicing what I taught already.
Oh, they know it, but they wish to hear from you, yeah?
So role play is a situation in which an individual is asked to take a role, behave in a certain way, not normally his own, or if his own, in a place not normal for the enactment to the role. For the role play, it's the use of it is to help a person change in his behavior or attitude. Has been popular. That's for the role play. So, I have here the role play enhancer. First one is the choice of the part of the student regarding whether to take part in the role play. First is the choice. Second is the student commitment to the behavior or attitude she's on the role play. Third, improvisation in acting the role play behaviors, how he's acting it. Fourth is rewarding. Reward, approval, or reinforcement for the enacting the role play's behavior. For the research done for the role play, perhaps many hundred studies have been done directed as discovery for the effect of role playing of attitude change. Some sort of attitude questionnaires are given for 3 groups. Those assigned for the role playing group, and second group is exposure group, which hold to the same private attitude for the role playing subject, but they are not requested to make such a speech opposite to their attitude. The third group, control group subject, neither make nor hear such a speech. They are not doing. All the subjects are giving again the questionnaire for the second time. This experiment shown that the role playing change in their attitude away from what they privately believed toward what they publicly said. For the role play, necessary, it's a necessary, but it is insufficient. As with modeling, role-playing may be seen as a necessary, but it is insufficient behavior change technique. It is effects, but often do not last. Both role-play and modeling combining the two as an improvement for the study, for the student, knows for what to do and how to do. So by combining both of them, the modeling and the role-play, it will be effective. Still not nice because but for the combination. Why? Because the child still need to know why he should behave in a new ways. It's for this reason that the performance feedback is to be considered next in the third component for the structure, and Hani will be presented. Any question?
Okay. Now the floor is open for discussion for both Sister Huda and Sister Afaf. Can you come at the front, please? Thank you.
Any question? Anything in mind? I will add something, but it's in my mind. I said that we consider the child background, but also to consider his age is so important. Like, we don't do model for a child like adolescent children we have here. So we should consider an adolescent stage of the child when we are going to role play for this child about certain behavior. So it is so important for us here to consider such thing. Sex is important. Stage of development is important, and background for us when we are doing modeling and role playing for the child.
The ice cream.
Yes.
The ice cream, when he is outside, he takes it not as a reward, but here you are giving him as a reward.
Yeah. I said ice cream, he knows the desire. That is the good thing about the ice cream when they are eating. We know the ice cream when we are eating. He knows يعني عارف الحلاوة, the sweetness and the desire thing you will get with that ice cream. We are using here like for table manner. Anyone behave in bad table manner, we don't give him this big ice cream. He will not get the positive behavior that he perceived before. This ice cream, because he knows this ice cream is delicious. He knows this behavior. He knows such desire he will get. Even for picnic, he's been for picnic before also. But here, when we give him the picnic, he knows that certain behavior, the positive thing he will get. Like if he behave in good behavior, he will go for the picnic. This picnic he been before, but he knows the desire he will get after the picnic. He will be happy. He will enjoy this one.
You will not feel he is deprived from the things which he likes it, and you will feel this place.
This one for good behavior would give him, no? Depriving for.
Instead of letting him to feel this is a good place where he will learn good things, he will feel that this place is depriving him from good things which he likes. Unless he behave what he wants, he will not get what he wants.
Even at home, you will not get ice cream all the time.
And he will go to the background,
and depriving him, because he's behaved on anyone he behaves.
Reinforcement according to the age.
Can I comment on this point? Actually, his point is valid. Actually, there is a difference between giving an ice cream or anything as a reward, and different as sister described as a new behavior to be learned. When she was mentioning in her presentation, she meant that as just an example of learning new behavior by facilitation, by behavior facilitation, rather than as a reward. You see, they are two separate issues. So this is one example of learning in the modeling principles and modeling concept. Just when she's or the child saw others eating or have ice cream in his hand, and he have in his experience and her repertoire that this is the nice things, so he will go to. This is just an example of acquisition of a new behavior, rather than going deep in details of giving reward, whether positive or negative reward, or that another issue. See, this is important point actually. Thanks.
Excuse me. It was mentioned here that role playing, it will give the effect, and then after the time it will disappear the effect.
Yeah.
It's very important. I think there is a big step for the change. For example, for the modeling, for example, if we start with modeling, he will see somebody, he will admire this, for example, the word sister or somebody. If he is doing this thing, he will be rewarded, or either by ice cream or good words or something. There should be another step that he should do this without the reward. Otherwise, this will not continue.
Yes.
Because outside he has to do things, in fact, with punishment.
Yes.
He has to do good things.
Yes. Can I comment on this point, please? This will come in the next lecture by our colleague here. We'll talk about the reinforcement system as a whole, and regarding whether to continue on reinforcement throughout, or make it interval or intermittent or continuous, and how we started and how we'll taper it later on. This your point will taken actually, but this will be more elaborated more in the next presentation.
Another point is regarding modeling. For example, he may see somebody as a model. But I mean, do we have models? يعني, one day he may see me as a model, but I may make a mistake. Huh? They say, he's my model, or كذا, the sister. And then, yes, I'm not a human being.
But it will not be a big mistake that you are doing. Like while he's eating, we are acting for them as a model in front of them while we are eating with them because we are as a model for them. But we're not spitting in the food like this. What يعني not will be big mistake. يعني it will not be big mistake for them. يعني if we make a mistake, it will not be big that affect him. And also that family cooperation is so important. For that يعني it's so important the family cooperation. If we are doing as a model here and go home, it will be different. Like this. This one is so important. But that one and this the reality. The family they are different than us sometimes, no? If they're not cooperating.
But do we do modeling purposely, or is it? I mean, it is from our own behavior that the child sees, and then he will imitate.
No, it should be sometimes by purpose. Like for at home we are used for different habits. For talking, for everything. And here at times, for myself, I'm doing sometimes by purpose because I know this one I should be a model for them. But at home,
I should be aware of my behavior so that I will do the good things.
This one everywhere, I think. Also, this one I think everywhere also.
Okay, can I have a comment? This is also a very important issue we discussed today earlier with the sister. Do we consider our own innate behavior, which is good, this is as modeling or role playing? You see, this is very important. Modeling have to be, by the definition, this have to be no role, have to be our nature. You know, this is our nature. No, not purposefully, not intentionally being doing for others. And this is the difference between role playing and modeling. So if you have your own good behaviors, this is your nature, this is, you are acting or making others to learn from you by modeling. But if you are doing that purposefully and intentionally to learn others, this is role playing. This is vital, difference between the basic difference between two concepts, modeling and role playing.
As a model all the time for them. Even as he said, we should be aware of our behavior.
Sure.
Like in role modeling, you are in role playing, you are intentionally doing such
Yes. Modeling, this is why
you have to act it all the time as a model in front of the child.
Sure.
If we are aware of such thing, we should do it all the time.
Also, maybe another thing is that in role playing, even the child can be an actor, okay? But here in modeling, maybe I will be having it purposely. I am behaving well purposefully for the child. And he did it. He did it naturally. The child did it naturally. He is not playing. He did it naturally, but I am acting within my mind that I will correct his behavior. And I know that I will be a model for him. This is maybe also another distinction between role playing and modeling.
So here you are practicing in this institute training institute. The client comes to you as a modeling or role playing.
Yeah, we are doing role playing during our social skill, I think. And during our social skill, we are doing the role playing in detail, such as for social skill. And for model, we try to act as a model for them all the time. We are sitting with them for picnic. We are going out for picnic with them. We are going outside, sitting together in the garden, eating together, drinking together, everything together, playing together. We are, and during all these activities, we are as a model.
You see, as Sister said, while conducting a social skill session, role playing will take over most of the time, and most of the, the principle practiced while doing social skill. Apart from that, or while interacting with patients throughout the whole days, so modeling will come to to operate more.
Maybe also for more specific behavioral change, there has to be behavioral oriented or specific for one behavior. It's not just model diffuse. For example, it's not just he's seeing me for everything I do.
Yes.
But for
No.
specific.
Yes.
To a certain target behavior, you mean?
And
Target
for,
behavior.
here they are so innocent. They are acting from where they are coming. They are acting naturally here. They don't imitate us all the time. But we try with them, to imitate certain behavior, as you said.
Do you think we should involve family in teaching the children or in showing them how we are role-playing in front of the patient? Or how
It is so important, as I said, the family cooperation with us.
How do we apply it here?
Here, the family, we are trying with the families, but the family, they don't come. I remember one happened with a family that two parents, they came here, and at the end she said, give me a book to read. I said, it's not the book to read, it is what you have to learn it in your behavior. And here we have, it is so essential to have community, as we discussed it before also. It is so important to go to the parents and their environment to see what they have of facilities and to act with them. Because in the community, the staff, the nurses mostly, they are coming so low with the family. The family can adapt such behavior in their environment. But here, I feel at times they don't come here because of the stigma of psychiatric that some of them have. And they said, we don't bring our children to psychiatry. And this one, the latest, I heard about the family, they don't come here because of the position of this unit in the psychiatric hospital. But if you go to their environment, so it would be benefit a bit from me.
Here still you are working one-to-one, no?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But how, I will be the modeling for my patient, because there is something between me and him, the trust. If he's not to trust me, how I will be
This
the modeling?
the relationship should be here, this trust relationships will be, should be everywhere. And we have here primary and secondary nurses.
I should keep myself under trust for the child.
I know, but you have your program. It is going for like week or something. If the patient does not distrust me, the person, you will change it or.
It is not the trusting that you have also, it is the overall that it's not trusting that it will change the behavior of the child. We have here the reinforcement, the negative and positive reinforcers. The trust should be there, of course. For the child, they have any problem, they discuss it with the nurses. This one's
she needs a primary assignment.
Yeah, the trust.
Especially for this staff. He's not under stress for this child. She can change it or she can do another behavior for it. She needs that.
Yeah, I know. The trust should be there, of course. It is because the child exposed to different staff nurses.
I know.
For the pregnancy is going, not that staff he trusted, he should be there. It is, trust should be there, I think, it's modeling.
But what I mean, like from juvenile center, you bring people here, children here.
Yeah.
How you know that you will be a good modeling for these people? I know that they are taking the good behavior from you. You think it is, it will work with them?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because they will go to the same.
Yeah, but still, a human being knows what is right and wrong. Just even if from juvenile, from whatever.
What she means, maybe what is the criteria to be a good model? This is what she means. What is the criteria? For example, she gave an example, trust. Okay, you should be a trusted person to be a good model. Okay, friendliness. Okay.
She said.
So then,
yes.
What is the set of criteria
Yes.
that we should be a good model?
Can I answer? She mentioned already in her presentation, as model characteristics, one item of the enhancers. Once these are available, this will enhance the effect of modeling. And this considered to be the good characteristic of the model figure. This she mentioned already in the presentation. And regarding the 2 points mentioned here, the family role and environment role, this will be discussed also by our colleague Mohammed Al-Haiki next time when he was talking about transfer of training. He will come across these various issues and stress on these various points.
And as she said, trustworthy one-to-one, and it's not only he trusts that person only, he trusts everyone. But this one, they have different relationship together because they are talking to each other more, and this stuff will talk to the family more. And this one is the relationship between the primary here. And for model, not this stuff will act as a model only. Here should be everyone. As a team. They will act as a model. Not only that stuff that patient trusts, that she should change the behavior. Here, everyone act and during the activities. It's not only me that, okay, I'm here, the patient trusts me, I will act as a model. This one, she will not act as a model.
I will not lead my...
It is everyone as a model.
Yeah. Patient, I will not lead it alone.
Unless he has an emotional problem.
Of the children.
Unless he has an emotional problem, it's something else, maybe.
It's also more long-lasting. For example, if it is only one model, then in the absence of this, I will not do this.
It will be everyone as a team together. But to express emotions, feelings is this one is trust the relationship will be one-to-one.
Okay, and no more question? Okay, at the end we thank Sister Huda and Sister Afaf about their nice presentation. We hope in the future they like this attendance more and more, and your encouragement and your attendance.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, thanks for your presentation for our social skill lectures. Second, thanks for our lecture today, my lecture today about transfer of training. I don't know anybody has an idea about transfer of training. It's simple, and what's the title? We'll give you back.
Transfer, which we are teaching the child
Yeah.
to action, to the reality.
Yeah, it's exactly what she said, excellent. The transfer of training, the detailed definition, it is a transfer what has been learned to the real life, such as the playground, school, home, and on the street. Anyway, we can apply it in learn the skill, we can apply it in the real life. So it is very important to know the definition first of all. So it is I'll repeat my definition. Transfer of training, that's mean transfer what has been learned to the real life situations, home and bus and street and school anywhere. So for successful also transfer of training, there is enhancers or factors which increase the transfer of training. These factors or enhancement, anybody has idea about the factors or enhancement which is increase the transfer procedure? There's enhancement. Teaching. Material. Teaching systems. personal. Second point, reinforcement system. Third point, task instruction. And now we are going to explain it in details one by one. First of all, teaching setting, material and personal. Transfer is facilitated when the setting in which the teaching occurs closely resembles the natural setting where the skill will be used. For example, when we are teaching the social skill session, better for us to give it for table manner. Better for us to give it in dining area so we can practice it innately, and we can also let the child to role plays as much as they can, so they can understand it, and it will be real life for them. It will be similar to the real life. As much as we can, we are keeping the child involved in the reality more. So this is the first point in teaching setting. So it's understandable. Okay. Second point, identical elements or characteristic teaching shaped by and the application setting. It is for example, we can keep same group from the student. For example, if we will keep five students from Egyptian and 5 person from our culture, same culture, so they will get benefit more, and they will get the skills more easily, more than mixed together. Okay. Third point, in teaching setting, material and personal, the actual use of skill is facilitated by teaching the skill in a variety of setting and a response to a variety of person also. In a variety of setting, as we said before, social skill, it should be given in different places. So better for the child to learn the skills. He will be more near to the natural life. So we can teach the social skill in the garden. We can teach them how they are playing in the proper manner, and how they can ask permission for playing. It will be more applicable for the child. For example, also for sitting, for variety of sitting, recreation area, they are playing also. We can recreation area, if the child also, he want to play, how, if two child already they are playing, the third child, he want to introduce himself for playing, how he ask permission for playing. This point is very important, variety of setting. So if we give social skill and recreation area, and we let the child to practice in it several times in recreation area, there will be more enhancement for if he went for outside life, he will be more applicable for it. Already he know it, and he know how to behave in these situations. Also, the use of several different school settings, also models, teachers, and role playing, co-actors also. For example, also for co-actors, for us giving the social skills. Some patients they are asking for a specific observation to act with them in role play. We are preventing these things to happen more often because he will use only to one person. We want him to use for different kind of people. So he will use, will not keep him only with the same co-peer. Will change each time the co-peer with him. So he can get the benefit, most benefit, and it will be more reliable for him. Fourth point in teaching setting, an additional method of facilitating transfer focuses on changes on the environment that will support the child in new behavior. For example, we were having one child who was studying, but he's getting a lot of difficulties while he's facing the external world or a school world. For example, he's each time he's coming from school, he was fighting and doing a lot of things. So one of our staff here, he went to school and he explained to them, he explained to the teacher also, how he can manage with the child, how can he get the child beside him, not against him. So the proper organization of the structure outside, from the teachers, even principals, even parents, and this point is the most important things. The parents, they should know how to deal with the child, in which way. For example, also we were having one child whose parents, non-educator, but he is trying himself. So first of all, he was admitted to us here. We give to him weekend evaluation for evaluating this patient, his father. We give to his father. He said simply, I don't know how to read it. I don't know how to write anything. He's not an educator. So we explained to him step by step everything in this weekend evaluation. So he can evaluate his child, and he can deal with him outside and inside. Inside already we are changing everything for him to be better. He came for us, he had this problem, such as going outside several times, and he is not coming only late time to his house. So this problem, we are trying to solve it here with him, and we are also instructing his father how he can manage him, and also we're instructing the child first of all here. Simple things first of all, for example, such as how he can use thank you, excuse me, I want to go to that place. These things we should tell the father, we should inform the father everything, what is going on here actually. So he will be knowledgeable and he will be more aware about his child. This, I think, we finished from first point. I will go to second point, which is reinforcement system. Anybody knows about reinforcement? Reinforcement system. Positive reinforcement and reinforce. Yeah, exactly. For positive reinforcement, we are rewarding the child. We are appreciating the desired behavior for the child. For negative reinforcement, we are depriving the child. For example, we have one patient, he is in a green color, so he is not allowed to go for picnic. So we'll deprive him from going to the picnic, or we will let him to go to the picnic, we'll let him to see the child playing only. He will not allow to him to play, so will deprive him. This is negative reinforcement. The importance of continued intermittent reinforcement. This is very important in the rice format and reinforcement system. The importance of continued intermittent reinforcement for lasting behavior change should be stressed. Reinforcement system should be continued and intermittent. Continued, not for each things, simple things will reinforce the child to not be affected, isn't it? But will reinforce him by after 2 sessions of social skill. If he did new desired behavior, will reinforce him. So it will be, he will be having the effort to do the best for to get the reinforcement from the others, because the child, he will show the things, he will do the things which is more likely for his parents or our here in this staff unit. So this is reinforcement. So, and also should be intermittent, an interval, not continuous. Yeah, an interval. We have to keep an object for him, long period of object, and we have short object. So for him to do the more effort for him to gain this reinforcement. Gradually, second point in reinforcement, and it's very important also. I think the whole our topic, my topic, the whole is very important for how generating the child units here. Gradually decrease the frequency of reinforcement for a desired performance. Yani we have to gradually decrease our reinforcement, so we'll keep it with long period. So he will be more partial to do potential to do this desired behavior. We'll keep it an interval, and we'll gradually will decrease it step by step. So the child, he will be not abruptly away from the reinforcement. Providing for natural reinforcement that is likely to occur in the natural environment paired with other reinforcement. Natural environment, even we are reinforcing the child for something he did a new behavior, which we are like it. We have to say for him pleasant words, like such as thank you, and we have to smile in the front of him also. This is very important. We have to use our facial expression for him to show him that we are agree from that desired behavior. Our skills, he bring it out. We finished now for reinforcement system. Now we have the last topics here, task instruction. It has been well established that practiced behavior or behavior which occurred in the past will be more likely to occur in the future situation. That means overlearning the child. The topics, we are repeating the topics for the child in social skills session. We have a lot of topics in the book, but for a new child, we have to give him more than 2 sessions, so it will be understandable more for him, so he can get the new desired behavior which we want him to learn. This is one enhance also. So we are repeating social skill 2 times, 3 times until he will get it, will get the points, and he will apply it in real life. So by practicing several times in different sets of circumstances, multiple role plays, homework assignment. By these three things, we can enhance that transfer. And second point, it is desirable for transfer enhancement purpose that the instruction be withdrawn systematically, not abruptly. Our information or our social skill session, we have to gradually decrease also, not abruptly, decreasing gradually. So if he gets the proper bond, if he gets all information, no need to repeat it again for him. Or we can repeat if necessary. If there are situations, let us to repeat it for him again and again. So here we can repeat it for him. This is my topics, and we'll go through the summary of my topics. Now here I'm going to mention all the points. No. I'm okay. Here I'm going to mention all the points which I discussed already in my presentation. Teaching setting, materials and personnel. First point, okay? Instruction in natural environment where skill is actually needed. For example, playground, hallways, school bus. This is, we said, to transfer what has been learned to the reality, to the real life. We have to keep the teaching settings, the places, similar to the outside environment or the real life environment. We can give them any social skill, as I said before, recreation and dining, and frequent changing in the environment will be more for him to know that new things, to apply that new things in real life. Teaching in a setting that is similar to those environments where the skill is to be used, as we said before, using props to enhance the similarity of teaching setting and the natural setting. 4 points, teaching peers, teachers, parents and others to reinforce skill use. As I said before, as I mentioned, there is specific any kind of new behavior which has been carried out by the child, we have to reinforce him. And also we have to degrade the outside environment for him. So he will have the effort also to do it outside, not only in our unit here. Teaching the skill in the context of a variety of situations and sitting by multiple role plays with different persons. Practicing correct enactment of the practicing of role plays will be better for him to maximize the learning skills. So he will be more enhanced to do it again and again. Reinforcement system. 6 point. This is the abbreviation for my summary, I mean, for my topics. And reinforcement system. Providing reinforcement system, reinforcement immediately following the desired behavior. As you said before, rewarding the child after desired behavior, which we like it, of course. 7 point, providing reinforcement on an intermittent schedule, as we said, not continue, it is interval. 8, gradually decreasing the frequency of reinforcement for desired performance. It's okay? Not abruptly, what we said, but gradually we can decrease the reinforcement. So he will use to do the things without reinforcement, gradually. Okay, clear? 9, providing the natural reinforcement, that is reinforcement that is likely to occur in the natural environment, paired with other reinforcement as needed. As we said, using our facial expression, it's very important for the child. Task instruction, this is the point which is mentioned in task instruction. Overlearning the skill by practice several times in different sets of circumstances, multiple role plays, homeworks, assignment. 11. Systemic withdrawal of instruction by periodic review and reteaching of the skill as needed. As we said also, we are avoiding abrupting withdrawing, but we are encouraging, if the skills need to be reviewed again and reteaching again, we are teaching again. 12. Instruction the student to use the skill when condition indicate the skill could be used. 13. Last point. Planning for opportunities where students can practice the prosocial skills they learn in the teaching session. This is by that I finished my lecture, and I hope that it's clear for you. Any question?
I have one question. In the reinforcement system, you said you will have intervals.
Yeah.
And you will keep time.
Yeah.
How you will manage? I mean, will you leave the child, for example, to go also for odd behavior or abnormal behavior or unwanted behavior, and then you will keep him for a while, then again you will reward him, or
no?
Yeah,
okay.
You want to ask?
Okay.
Did you understand my question first?
I think, okay. Reinforcement is continued and good behavior. It's okay, but we cannot continue continuously reinforcing, because he got used to the behavior already. It will be natural. This will be the basic, and for him the basic. You should keep in his mind. This is he should do it again and again without reinforcing. Okay.
Now, for example, if he did something wrong, okay, you want to teach him how to avoid this.
For something wrong, we have to stop him immediately.
Okay, but then for
before he will go to
you will go for intervals. You said you will keep interval, and then you will use another
for positive
reinforcement
things.
system.
For positive things.
Only for positive things.
Yeah. For bad things, for bad things will not reinforce him, or will reinforce negatively.
I mean,
negatively will reinforce him.
Yeah, I mean, how you will use this intervals and negative reinforcement?
This interval, we can adjust it, as we see the situation. Okay? according to the situation.
So you will
we can introduce ourselves to that situation which will need, which is already need us يعني. And the crisis يعني should be, it will be.
I will give you a realistic example. Maybe it will be very beneficial. One child is imitating others. Okay. Any words they say, he will imitate it immediately. Now, he likes, for example, to go picnics. Now, you will use negative reinforcement. You will, for example, hold that picnics. You will not take him one time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, how you will use this intervals in teaching him? First time you will not take him, then you will let him go, and then after that you will not take him again. I don't know.
Yes, can I explain it?
In the beginning he was not doing a good thing. He was,
yeah.
So he should be stopped.
Okay, he should be stopped by negative reinforcement. He likes, for example, going to picnics.
Yes.
You will withhold picnics first time. Then he did it again.
Yes.
There is different also different things. There is different things. We can also punish him by not only in negative. We are not يعني concentrating on the negative reinforcement. This is negative reinforcement. يعني it will be maybe I mean trying to stopping the child from this undesired behavior. We have to use other things, other ways.
Okay, you will use other things, but I mean, how you will use that?
Yes, the step. Can I explain it, clarify it? This is a very important point. He is he meant by his question regarding the term intermittent. How you apply it. This is very important. Actually, first of all, intermittent reinforcement applied only for positive reinforcement, not for negative reinforcement. And for bad behavior, we are using other technique apart from the reinforcement system. There is ignoring the behavior. There is some sort of mild punishment which is called timeout. This is another technique to deal with bad behavior. But if we we come back to the reinforcement system, he mentioned that continuous intermittent reinforcement. This is only for the positive reinforcement, not for the negative. And the intermittent concept comes actually from the research finding that they compare giving rewards each time for one group and giving rewards on intermittent basis for another group. Whether intermittent by time or intermittent by sessions or intermittent by the number of whatever the periods or the interval, they found better result in the group in the second group, which is the concept of intermittent positive reinforcement applied there. That's why they stress on the point that this is better in acquisition of the new skill learned by the child, better than the continuous one. From many points actually, not to depend totally on the. By the way, this is the general principle, but practically, when the child admitted to the unit and starting, applying a reward system, initially it will be continuous. Have to be continuous, not intermittent. Initially, it will have to be continuous to strengthen, the linking between this good behavior and the reward. After this initial period, we can apply the concept of intermittent. Then at the end, as our brother Muhammad said, at the end we can taper it down and make it in the interval more longer and longer, not to depend on the reward, because not every time he will find the reward outside. This is the concept. This is only just a guideline, but practically, as I mentioned, initially continuous reward system, then intermittent, then also make it on more longer interval period. This regarding the concept of intermittent.
I think also ممكن ما سمعت كلام دكتور. بالنسبة للنيجاتيف reinforcement مع البيهيفير، طبعا if it is bad behavior it's different from if it is good behavior. يعني مثلا انت قلت إذا هو راح if he do bad thing, this time you will not take him with the journey or trip. صح?
Okay.
Next time it's بالضبط. If he stopped doing it, you will take him as a positive reinforcement.
Yes, if he repeated it.
Suppose he repeated, then you will increase the punishment also. يعني
another technique.
أيوة, you will not only keep him here, you may also have to put more pressure on him to do other things, keep him inside the walls.
To watch the blades of other.
But my question was more about intermittent.
أيوة, even the intermittent also. يعني not only that he repeated second time, خلاص you will end all يعني you will keep him inside the room and you will look at for days and days. No. Will increase the punishment also, slowly. Until he change.
And I have a comment just on the presentation. Excuse me, Mr. Mohammed. Transfer of training actually is missing in our social skill session. And this is a very important issue. And actually, this, as we described, our colleague described yesterday, the component of social skill learning by structured learning in social skill. To start with, first of all, what the child was asked, what I am going to do, the answer of what is the modeling. Then how I'll do it, the answer of that role playing. Why I'm doing that, the answer is performance feedback will be presented by Hani, I think, next time. Then when I'll practice this, when, at which situation, this is the transfer of training, which is the fourth component of structured learning. At the same time, this component, which is transfer of training, is the real indicator of the success of social skill. Because most of the cases, as you know, more than me, they behave good here inside the world. But once the patient went back to the, they will, relapse again. Why? Because the absence of this very vital component in our social skill, which is transfer of training. It needs a great effort between the staff nurse and social worker, and also the psychologists have to interfere. The reinforcement system, yes. Here came the role of the environment and the parents, involving them just to know what's going on, how to deal with the child. Sometimes this is easy to say, but it's practically it is a little bit difficult. But this is not the the answer of. We have to keep on just improving more and more. Many things Mr. Mohammed mentioned today, we can get benefit actually from the theoretical background. For example, social skill session given for all patients who need it in the ward. At the same time, we can tailor this session according to each individuals. For example, if the patient's coming here for about 3 months and going back, he mentioned that regarding the concept of reinforcement, for example, have to be continuous from the start, then intermittent, then we taper it gradually. There is no tapering here. The patient discharged from after the 3 months, sudden reduction of task instruction, sudden or abrupt stopping of reinforcement system. So this will affect the efficacy, or have its weight in the long-term benefits for the children. You can, and also he stressed on the point of variety of setting and situation. This is very important. Social skill have been conducted only in the classroom or sometime here. Have to be in other places just to make generalization. Here the concept of generalization of new behavior adopted to the many different settings, rather than it is just official things like lesson in the school. Very important. And the discussion this is very important just to get benefit, and in order to practice more and more.
It's like I said,
maybe also
they will take things
the teaching skills. Maybe they are, telling it in general. Maybe it is not. I think you mentioned that tailoring for one child. Okay.
Within the frame of general social, each patient have to be tailored management according to his condition.
This one I will give point. The teaching session
we are not giving here only. We are giving for the child here, but we are also practicing outside. We are taking them to the garden here and outside in the picnic. We are teaching them. We are not taking to play only.
Yes.
We are teaching how to deal with other patients. Sometimes we will take the patient to the souk outside. We will give them the money and they will buy for themselves. We are teaching them. Not
So this is some sort of transfer of training. Yes, yes. Thanks. Okay, any question? Okay.
Maybe one comment regarding negative reinforcement.
Yes.
Again. يعني it's very difficult to stop bad attitudes or behavior suddenly. It's very difficult. For example, if a child is imitating, you cannot just in 1 or 2 days stop him by strong punishment. For example, if
you have to put the long-term objectives.
يعني today he may only imitate مثلا 5 things or 5 behavior. Tomorrow you aim for 4. And يعني you cannot just suddenly say to him, if you do it again,
I will punish you.
which is the common statement in the families, eh? Just either that or this, huh?
Here what's happening actually, we are warning him, and not in that way, in source way. No, it's gradually. Please, Muhammad, don't say that like that. Yani. Again, we are telling the same things for him. We are changing also again and again. If this not, he did not get benefit and he did not stop this behavior, we are taking him to the more difficult, more punishment for him also.
Also explanation to the child is very important. Otherwise he will just be very defensive.
Yeah,
sure.
Sure. It's a very important point he mentioned, Dr. Ali, because we are facing here also, after even not before, after timeout also, we're getting like that. If we're giving to him timeout for a specific undesired behavior, we are not like it from him to carry it out. So he will be too much upset, and he will not even smile, he will not talk, he will stop everything. So we're taking him after a period of time from going out from timeout room. So we are taking him, explaining to him why we give to him timeout. So he will be knowledgeable about his behavior, and he will be more careful about what he is doing inside our unit.
Okay.
One question I have about I noticed here also that sometimes the children, maybe they did wrong behavior or something outside the unit.
Yeah.
In the school, for example.
Yeah.
After sometimes it is 1 day or 2 days until they come back to the unit. Then you give them a time out or the punishment for the behavior that they did 1 day before or 2 days before. Is it right that we have to do it this way, or it should be given at the same time?
It's better to be given at the same time, but how will we know that he did that wrongs in the school? That's undesirable behavior in the school, or carry it out this is skill in the school. How will we know? But one patient we're having, he is very naughty, he's very aggressive. Each day, daily he's doing fighting there in the school. So this type of patient, we are taking daily report from the school about this patient. So daily we'll know what is happening inside the school. And before we'll take the report also, we'll ask him, we'll sit with him and we'll ask him, what is happening in the school? How you behave there? Any problem happen in the school? So he will inform us also. He will not keep it quiet. He will tell to us anything that's happening to them. So again, we are calling at the school. Anything he did something wrong, he fight with others, they will inform. Then if there is any problem, we'll give him a timeout if he did something wrong.
But you are giving time out for the problem happened 2 days ago? You're giving time out, or?
You are giving time out.
Because actually, as Sister mentioned, to be effective have to be at the same time. Whether rewarding or punishing have to be at the same time. Otherwise, it will be useless. But if you can apply it indirectly by color system. Color system depends not on the momental concept, depends daily base. So can use a color system and just going to certain colors or going down or up. But regarding application of timeout, I think
because timeout is affecting on the color system also. So we are banishing from both sides, and from the point we are detecting the point also from the
so this have to be revised again with the system here.
Benefit also, because if he behaves bad and outside, which he is not near to you,
yes,
and he will not get a punishment later on. So he will have a double behavior.
Yes.
When he is near to you, he will behave well. When he goes out of your view, out of your vision,
yes,
then he will behave differently because he knows there he is not getting the punishment. But if he knows that the punishment is following him,
yes. But the color system is enough. Color system, yes. Yes.
Honestly, we'll do like that. We take him for a picnic. He behaved badly, so we will give him warning there. He repeat that behavior. So after coming, we will give him. We'll give you
You see, changing in the color enough is we can consider a sort of punishment. From colors up to color down. This I think is enough for the which is happening 2-3 days ago. But I think when applying timeout as such for behavior 2 days back, because the essence is the connection in the child mind. I have this time out because I did this but the capacity is in the children not like an adult, you have to be connected in his mind. This is the essence. I got the time out because I behaved badly, but after 1 day maybe he was doing something good in between, so it will interfere actually.
We are connecting that by questioning the child. If another patient did the same mistake which is had been already done by the other child, we are asking the first child who did it, what's happened for that child, what he did, the things which is wrong for that child. So he will answer. Today I have been go through it. Yesterday one patient time out for interfering. So today another patient he did same mistake. So I asked the first patient, what happened? He said, this is interfering. And he by questioning and repeating the wrong things, so he will be more aware of his wrong behavior.